This podcast is brought to you by Velena and by the Final Frontier podcast.
Come with me to discover the transformative power of kindness and the joy it brings. Join me as we explore every Monday morning simple yet profound ways to elevate your happiness, one gesture at a time.
Wow, fantastic baby, dance. I'm gonna dance. Fantastic baby.
Welcome to another edition of The Complete Guide to Happiness. Hope you had a happy week, and I hope this show is going to make you even happier. It is May 5th. May 5th. One quarter of 2025 is in the books. Isn't that amazing? And it's Cinco de Mayo. So I know a lot of people are going to be having some fun today. You know, any excuse to be happy, to have fun is worth it, right? Americans love the holidays. Anytime they can take a holiday, show up late for work, leave early to work, they're going to do it. Probably not just Americans. I like to give Americans a little hard time, but because I am an American. And so I'm very happy to report that I've got fresh tomatoes and carrots in my garden, which I'll show you later in the interview. And the quote for the day, I'm very happy. It came in from Ambassador number 171, John Paul DeJoria. You might all know him from Paul Mitchell Hair Products, one of the biggest hair companies on the planet. Patron Tequila, very famous tequila. I drank a lot of tequila in my life. I think he sold it a few years ago for like $5 billion. And he wrote, kindness is one of the five. Oh, sorry. Let me try that again. Take two. Kindness, I'm getting a little older, as you might have noticed, and I should wear glasses, but I don't. Kindness is one of the free secrets of a successful and a happy life. That's coming from a billionaire. So take that advice and put it in your back pocket. The whole purpose of life is to be happy. And kindness leads to happiness. And then I wrote to that, kind people live a longer and happier life. Be kind. Be kind are the two words that will save the planet from the insanity of humanity. And I like to do this show once a week because there's some fantastic ambassadors. We're now at 11,400 plus in 146 countries. I'm very, very proud of that. And we're growing rapidly every day, new ambassadors from all over the world. Matter of fact, just today, Burkina Faso joined, a country in Africa, and Togo, two new countries today. That's fantastic. So my goal is to get an ambassador of kindness in all 195 countries, spreading happiness and kindness. And then an admin, which is someone who controls one of our WhatsApp groups, in all 10,000 cities. It's a nice goal, something to do in retirement. In the meantime, I do this show here, which makes me happy. I've got a great guest, one of the early ambassadors of the movement. I'm not going to tell you his number yet. That's part of the interview. And I guess that's the monologue. What else do I want to say that's going on? Very shortly, we're launching what's going to be called, it is called now, the Global Kindness Social Network. And it's only for ambassadors of kindness. That's people who have committed the 3 commitments to kindness. Be kind to yourself, others, and the planet. And you're going to be able to network socially. You're going to be able to network business-wise. I'm not going to profit from it, but you as a product or service provider can offer a discount to ambassadors of kindness. Small discount, doesn't matter the amount. It's saying thank you for being a kind person. Thank you for being an ambassador of kindness. And everybody wins. You get business, customer loyalty. The ambassador gets a little bit of a discount, meets a new company that's in the same mindset of kindness, which it has to propagate for the world to be a better place. We've got to spread the movement. And this show here is one way. Hopefully you feel you've learned something from it and you want to join the Be Fantastic philosophy, the kindness revolution, adopt the 3 commitments to kindness, say the Global Kindness Pledge, get your schools in the area to say it. So basically, as you know, the show has a little monologue like I'm doing here. Then it has an interview with one of our ambassadors of kindness. At 11,400 plus, it's going to be about 500 years doing one a week. It's okay. I'll be around. New technology, we're going to live forever soon. And of course, a cooking episode. And I love cooking, and I love growing my own vegetables, and I love shopping. I specifically like shopping. Going to a market and seeing all that food, it's like Disneyland for me. Hundreds of different types of meats and cheeses and fruits and vegetables and every kind of thing you could ever imagine. And that's my exercise, by the way. I walk 25 minutes to the market, get a little exercise, carry a big bag home. So that's my weight training. And then cook, which is exercise, and then eating. And I get exercise from eating because I'm a voracious eater. Voracious, is that what it is? And I get a sweat going when I'm eating because I just love eating. So I get my workout, lost some weight. It's fantastic. Life's beautiful. I'm happy. I could be happier. We all could be happier. But just do the things that make you happy. Whatever you're doing that makes you happy, keep doing it. Do more of it. Planting a garden, watering the garden, if that makes you happy, makes me happy, do it. Singing, if that makes you happy, sing. If dancing makes you happy, dance. Whatever makes you happy, keep doing it. Don't let anyone else tell you you're doing the wrong thing. Because no one's opinion matters but yours. You're the most important person in the world. You come first. Because if you're not first, you can't help anyone else. It's not being selfish to be first. Just to be alive is coming first, being healthy, being happy, and then you can spread that happiness to everyone else. Wouldn't that be something? And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to spread happiness. And this is the complete guide to happiness. It's kind of a cute name. And I think you can learn something from every one of our guests. They all got a fantastic story. And they're all spreading kindness, as I want you to, if you're not already. If you are one of our ambassadors and you're watching the show, get a hold of me. I can't call 11,000 people and tell me you want to talk about your NGO, your charity, your initiative, your project, your company, your son, your daughter, your wife, whatever you want to talk about. Everyone has a fantastic story, and as long as someone can learn from the interview that I have with you, typically they all do. That's fantastic. Learn one thing a day. Keep learning. The more you know, the easier your life is, and the more successful you're going to be. Learn 10 languages. Someone's going to hire you to be a translator. Anyway, let's get to the interview. Alytino B. Brown is the guest. He's quite the character. And for once, he didn't talk more than I did. I think I did more of the talking. I could have sworn he was going to do all the talking because he's a guy that can do a lot of talking. Okay, here we go. Well, everyone, I'm happy to introduce an old friend and a early ambassador of the Kindness Revolution. He's not ambassador number 6,000. He's not ambassador number 600. He's not even ambassador number 60. He's actually ambassador number 6, the 6th person to join the Kindness Revolution over 5 years ago. He's from Seneca, South Carolina. He's currently living between Los Angeles, I know that place pretty well, and Vegas, know that place pretty well. And he is the CEO of Project Tapestry. He's a humanitarian like myself. And he's the funniest guy you're ever going to meet, because I don't know if you have friends like this, but I can literally be on the phone with him, set the phone down, mow the backyard, wash some dishes, come back, and he's still talking. It's amazing. So this interview, you're probably not going to hear a lot from me. So let me get it out now, because he's going to do all the talking. So the first question I ask my guests, Alytino, is how do you define happiness?
Being able to have no stress at all.
That's the shortest answer I've heard, and it's absolutely correct. Now, I just want to throw out there real quick for the audience. To me, I went out in the yard today and picked some fresh tomatoes and carrots, right? That made me happy. So what I tell the audience, because this is the complete guide to happiness, is that whatever's making you happy, keep doing it, right? Now, what makes you happy is your Project Tapestry, which you've been doing for many years. You're getting about ready to where the world's going to hear about it. But So we could just jump into Project Tapestry, or, oh, here's what I want to do first. I have a memory of a gnat. And luckily, when people call me, I remember them. We haven't talked in a long, long time. Funny is that the last couple of weeks has been friends, old friends that are early ambassadors. Paul Paget, who I don't know if you know or not, is ambassador 223. He was my guest last week. And I have ambassador number 6. It's celebrity status. How did we meet? That's my first question. Second question to you.
Well, I had an interview with you with my team, and we were going to interview. However, I couldn't make it. I sent them. The next thing is we met at earlier events, but one of the things that stands out most was your boat project that you invited me to. And we met each other then, right there at your place.
I had a boat project?
Yes.
I don't have a boat project. What are you talking about?
What about the boat you were fixing up to sell or what have you? Remember that? Gee,
Oh, yeah. Someone hired me to remodel their boat, your yacht. It was a pretty big yacht, right?
Yes, it was.
That was a cool project.
That
So I
was
count that as one of my 100 careers. I only remodeled one boat. So I count that as a career because someone does it every day, right? I don't do it every
correct.
day. I do everything once. I got one kid. I got one marriage. I do everything once.
Oh, good. Well, being fantastic is a once in a lifetime thing, and I'm glad that you are able to do it. Great mission.
It's very rewarding. A lot of people are endorsing it and spreading it. Now, you haven't had time to spread it, and hopefully one day you will. So tell us, then that's okay because everyone has their thing. Very few people have even the time to read a welcome text when they join, or even look at the motivational quotes I put out to 800 groups every week. People just are so busy and consumed trying to make money, which I don't do anymore. I'm retired, but everyone's consumed with making money, so they don't have much time for kindness, unfortunately.
You're correct.
So tell us about Project Tapestry. This is the first time you're tongue-tied because I can't believe you're not talking all the time. I mean, I'm a big talker, and you put me to shame.
Well, Project Tapestry is a weaving of the magic threads that make up humanity and connecting the dots with like-minded people like yourself. And it has evolved to the point where, coming from a military family, to see the homeless veterans on the street after they provided their service with life and limb to actually be cast out like trash. It really hurts. It's inhumane and totally insane.
And people blame it on them. I remember during Vietnam, people would come home from the war and they got spit on. Like it's their fault. I mean, that's just disgusting. I call the situation on the planet today the insanity of humanity. And this is just one small element of the insane things that people do to one another, treating veterans like shit. It's really horrible.
It is. And it's inhumane because they fought for the freedoms we enjoy every day. And they're not a part of it.
If you remember, I had a charity called Supporting Our Servicemen, did quite well. That was a lot of fun, but I didn't get a whole lot of support. So when I don't get support for something, I move on. It did good for a long time. And now I have the Kindness Revolution, and I have a lot of support. I've got over 11,400 ambassadors of kindness. You're number 6.
Thank you so much. And like I said, kindness doesn't hurt, to be nice to people. It's one of the things that they remember about you most.
Why do people treat kind people so cruel? I mean, they take advantage of them and they don't respect them. Why is that?
Because we're known as tree huggers or lovers of humanity, so they think they can walk all over us and disrespect us. But then again, we're always viewed as the person just one step away from the people in the street that we're trying to help up. So it's a corporate thing because they don't see any reward or ROI.
Funny you should say that because there's a saying that goes, nothing in life is free, right? Well,
correct.
The Kindness Revolution is going to be the exception to the rule because it is free. It will always be free, and it's my gift to the world. And I'm going to prove to people that without any money, because I've been traveling for the last 5 years without any money, and with just a little gumption and a little blood, sweat, and tears, I've created a global community of like-minded, positive people like yourself.
And that's amazing and incredible.
Forsan Records is proud to introduce the newest album from Valena, including the singles Cut Me to the Quick,
Cut me to the quick and tear me asunder. Push me to the limit. Anything to pull me under.
and Remedy.
I need an antidote, a remedy. Anything to bring relief. Self-sabotage, my very own defeat. Not just need one more fix to dull the pain.
Valena, Save Me From Myself, available now wherever you get your music.
My body's turned against me again.
So how do we change the world? And you're trying to do it with Project Tapestry.
One act of kindness at a time.
Right. Now, you being late to this interview wasn't very kind, by the way. I got to give you some shit. Always give your friends shit. That's okay.
It's all right, you know? Long as you have big shoulders and you know what the real is, you can't deny it.
And you are a producer.
Yes, amongst other things.
Have you ever met a producer who's late?
Sure.
Well, they're not very successful then, are they?
Well, I'll put it to you this way. When you have to do most of it yourself because of staff inefficiency, okay? Not to say my staff is inefficient, but there are things in life that happen to other people, car accidents, death. I mean, I've lost a lot of friends along the way during COVID, okay?
Right.
So when you're funding everything yourself, it takes a lot of determination.
Certainly
Patience.
does. And the thing is, you can't rely on volunteers because you set up a bunch of volunteers for an event, and then they all get a gig to be an actor or to make money, and they're going to go for the money because volunteering doesn't pay anything. It's good for the soul and it makes you feel fantastic, but you got to pay the bills. So you go for the paying gig and then you lose all your volunteers and your event falls apart. So eventually I'm going to hope to pay the directors because, as you know, the Be Fantastic philosophy, you start out by hearing about the three commitments and the kindness revolution. Then you join a group, one of the 800 groups. Then if you want to help or be involved, you become an ambassador of kindness, which is free. Go to worldkindnesslist.com. Then if you really want to help, you become an admin, which hopefully one day you'll be, where you invite people in because you don't have the time. I understand that. It's not a big deal. It's got its own life right now. A lot of people get it. Sometimes it takes years for someone to get it, because it's been many years I've been doing this. And they finally say, oh, let me help because they get it, and so it's got a life of its own. Then there's going to be one director in every country to oversee the admins. And then hopefully we're going to have one admin in every city in every country. And that will be an amazing accomplishment if I can get tens of thousands of cities spreading kindness. Wouldn't that be something?
That'll be fantastic. And a lot of my friends are the same way. Kindness doesn't hurt and it doesn't cost a thing. But dedication and determination when you're doing an event and to satisfy your desire, and we'll share it with the world. Number one, it's a national tour across America. We're looking at a lot of corporations to join us in this as we move across, not only for the media publicity for them, but for the exposure of their company to be a proud American company for the accomplishments of our veterans who have either passed on or on the streets or, who made it through, that have to come together to help humanity once again. They rallied for us. We need to rally for them.
But it's not just for veterans. Your tapestry is for anyone who has a humanitarian cause, isn't it?
That's correct. Well, using the veterans as a focus group, because they're the most denied of their privileges and benefits of the war, and they're still on our streets. It's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing that we have 32 wars going on right now. It's the insanity of humanity.
That's why we need to be nice and be fantastic and go against war and the horrors of it.
And tilt your camera down again.
Okay, sorry.
Can
Well, I'm holding it
you
in
see
my hand.
yourself? Can you see yourself?
I can.
Put yourself in the camera. You're a producer, for Christ's sakes.
Well, that's as a producer, that's an executive producer. I sit on the board.
Oh,
I
okay.
usually have my camera crew, and you know that they don't fail.
It's nice to have a cameraman. You know, a lot of times I've done over 2,000 videos on my other channel, Befantastic, and sometimes I'll do a 20-minute dissertation, and I'll go and stop the camera and say, "Oh, damn, it didn't record," or the audio didn't work, or the camera fell. So you know, when
Right.
you don't have a makeup person, because I certainly need makeup, and you don't have a hair person, I certainly don't need a hair person. It's tough to do it all by yourself, you know.
It is.
But
You
it's
know?
okay. I always say
But
you know, everything happens as it should when it should. You know, I did a cooking. I love doing cooking episodes. And the other day I did a wonderful one, and I was hoping at the end that it did record, and it did record. But you never know, so it's always like a surprise because I don't do things twice, as I told you earlier. I had one
Right.
kid, one marriage, one divorce, and I do everything once. I built one silo in Iowa. I ran a snow machine for the winter of '72 in Switzerland one time. So everything once, because everything's so easy, Alytino. Producing is easy. I was one of the first music producers in Los Angeles. You know, that was, you know, 40 years ago. I could have stuck with it and become, you know, a very successful music producer, but that's too easy. Saving the planet from the insanity of humanity. Now that's a challenge that I want you to help me.
You got it. I've always been there and always will be. Even though we have two different ways of doing it, we still come together to do the right thing. Okay?
Yeah.
And set an example for the future generations not to have war and to gain knowledge.
So what's the how does someone go to Tapestry, and how do they get involved?
Well, it's the Project Tapestry Foundation.org. It's a solitary position right now that I have, but it's not totally solitary. I do have a good team on other aspects. I handle a lot of the IT, and my IT team is tremendous, and you'll see it if you visit our live YouTube, which will be carrying it all across the United States.
Well,
And
you've been able to get in a lot of good doors, like Google. Tell us about that. Some of the other big companies that have endorsed your vision. Tell us about that.
well, Google and I have grown up together. However, I started my IT career in 1980. Okay. So 1980 till today and tomorrow, if God, good Lord opens my eyes, it'll be another day toward the 46th year. And I've learned a lot of things. There's a lot of things that we still need to develop. And in developing it, it's time consuming and it takes a lot of thought before you put it on paper and then putting it to work and integrating it across multiple platforms we have today in social media is a demanding task. Okay. I don't do coding, I just do the network engineering. But one of the most important things is ease of use, and the apps today need to be refined to give us a more convenient and comfortable way of using it without using all the craziness that goes on. And I don't want to get into a arena where I have to speak on that because I don't want to. I just want to make it more positive, more fantastic, and be kind to people rather than abusing people in social media.
Well, you've been in since 1980. It's evolved. What is your spin on AI?
Well, my spin on AI, funny you should ask me that. I've created AI 3.14, which is not AI, it's Alytino intelligence based on my experience. It's
Okay.
the perfect circle of communication and clarity by actually getting involved online.
Go on. You didn't say anything yet.
Well, I know, but that'll be for interview too.
Okay,
Okay.
so putting AI, you probably don't want to talk about Alytino AI. Tell us what your feelings are on the dangers and the benefits of AI, because I know it could be the detriment to humanity, in my opinion. It could get out of control because humans can still direct it in the wrong direction.
AI is nothing more than automated information. That's really what it is. Artificial intelligence is programmed by people to do certain tasks. It could be good or bad depending on the person who's programming it. You're correct. It's misunderstood, not explained. That's what the YouTube channel was created for you to learn and earning while you learn. Because the more you learn, the more you're able to earn. It's not AI that's going to take over your job. It's the person who understands and knows AI that will take over your job.
Well, I use it to refine my speeches and some of my blogs, but it's pretty amazing to see Donald Trump and Putin dancing with skirts on and doing all kind of crazy stuff. Because like Jurassic Park, it looks very, very real. But what I do enjoy lately is these posts I've been seeing where they did it with AI and they took the most beautiful women on the planet and they show about 12 different nations of the girls parading and saluting and just looking drop dead gorgeous. And it's like, I want to enlist. You should actually use those videos for the veterans because you can't help but smile when you see gorgeous drop dead women parading, saluting in beautiful outfits from China and Russia and America and Czechoslovakia and France and Italy. Gorgeous drop dead women. Have you seen them?
No, I've been
No?
too busy. I
Oh
haven't
my
had time
goodness.
to do all
You
those
gotta
fun
take
things.
time to smell the roses.
Well, I will have plenty of time to do that once we're launched.
No,
However,
no, once you're
getting
lunch, you're
back
gonna
to,
be busier.
well, that's true, but in a different capacity. That's the key.
People
No.
don't take the time for themselves. The motivational quotes I send out are from famous people in history, philosophers, Plato, Abraham Lincoln, celebrities. They're beautiful. They're because they're historic because they said something that's really poignant and helpful. And I send it out for free. Of course, it's for free. If people paid $5, they probably watch it, but it's free. And I talk to some very wealthy and important people. And I say, "Are you enjoying the quotes?" And they'll say, "I'm too busy." It's 10 seconds to read the quote.
Well, I'm not going to get into all the ramifications of people being busy because that's their choice. Okay. You can take your time to do that, or you can do something productive. Those are productive that are really doing something for the betterment of the planet, or is one thing. The ones that are doing for the betterment of themselves is yet another thing. And those that don't have anything else better to do than doing that is the other thing. So there are many reasons behind it. But one of the most important things is being kind to others. Okay.
Well, I'll disagree with that. The most
Mhm.
important thing is to be kind to yourself. Because if an Alatino isn't alive, happy, or well, he can't be of service to his God, his family, his company, Tapestry, the world, or himself. You come first. That's one of my philosophies in this movement, in this revolution. Because if you're not, the analogy is if you're on an airplane and the oxygen mask drops, put it on first, then help others. Because Latino, you can't be of service to anyone unless you're happy or alive.
I am happy to be alive and being a humble servant. That's all, the most
And then
important
you
thing in
help
the
people. I
world.
don't say it's
Yes.
selfish. People say it's selfish to come first. No, it's important to come first. If you're only coming first, then of course it's selfish. But you come first so you can help others, so you can be of service to your God, your country, your family, and yourself. So you have to be alive and happy and well so you can help others, and then you can help the planet after that.
Well, we met on a red carpet, and I found the red carpet to be a very bloody event over the years. And even working in the charity for all these fantastic A-listers doing red carpets, it became really nasty because I saw people putting money in their pocket they have no
Oh,
clients.
horrible. So we met
Yeah.
on a red carpet. Tell me which one it was.
I don't remember. I did so many, I can't even keep track anymore.
Actually, I
But
thought
what
they were
I,
kind of fun.
but what Project Tapestry and what I learned from my experience, I created the camouflage carpet. The camouflage carpet is for our veterans.
Oh, I see. That's a good idea. I like that
Yes,
idea.
it is. Thank you.
You do
I
come up with some good
appreciate it.
ideas every once in a while.
Oh wow, every once in a while. Well, it is what it is. Okay. So we just have to stay tuned and stay involved.
And help others. The second commitment.
Always.
You know, I
Correct.
mean, I truly believe the three commitments solve all mankind's problems. Because if we're kind to one another, we wouldn't have wars. We wouldn't have lying and stealing and cheating and raping and killing and all the horrible bullying and teasing, all the horrible things humans do to one another. If we're kind to one another.
Exactly. So there you go. We have to set the model. We have to set the standard and follow it with others to carry our torch when we transcend. Because we never know when our last breath is taken, and that's the end.
Live every day as though it's your last, because one day
Yeah,
it will be. Tell your loved ones that you love them every day. Every
I
day.
do.
That's
Yeah.
good. Well, a lot of people don't. And a lot of people in America don't kiss their kids. I kiss my kids all through their ages. Now their kids have kids. Well, maybe because my wife is French and it's just a kissing thing. But a lot of parents don't kiss their kids.
Well, they've lost touch because of
No
video.
shit. Yeah. And the
You can't
phones.
kiss a dead zombie.
You sit down every night with your family, put the toys away, put the phones away, and communicate and, get back to reality. I mean, are we living in a matrix? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, most definitely we're living in the matrix. Wake up.
Wake up. Put the toys aside. We're just so, you see a couple sitting at the a dinner table at a restaurant texting, and you wonder, are they texting each other? I mean, it's crazy. And that's why I call it the insanity of humanity through the ages. I mean, Vlad the Impaler, Hitler, Napoleon, all these horrible men, and sometimes women. I think there were some bad women in history that have done horrible things to mankind, and we're still doing it with the wars, with the greed, the corporate greed. I mean, how do we get away from that?
Bring them to their knees.
Kill them with kindness, I like to say.
That works too.
Be kind, I think, are two of the most important words to help humanity. And as Rene Descartes said, I think, therefore I am. I am are two most important words for yourself. So I don't know if you've seen, and hopefully you've seen, the Global Kindness Pledge. And I want you to repeat it after me, and I want the audience listening to repeat it after you. Here's how it goes. I pledge to be kind to and love myself.
I pledge to be kind and to love myself.
I pledge to be kind and to strive to love all others.
I pledge to be kind and I strive to be kind to all others.
Love all others. Be kind is good too. I pledge to be kind, love, and respect our Mother Earth.
I pledge and
I pledge to be kind to and
I pledge to be
love
kind
and respect our Mother Earth.
and love and respect our Mother Earth. And by the way,
wait a minute, it's not over. It's not over. It's not over. It's not over. I don't like to talk. Usually I can never get a word in edgewise with this guy. We are all fantastic.
We are all fantastic.
You are fantastic.
You are fantastic.
I am fantastic.
I am fantastic.
Do you feel the power of that pledge? Imagine if children say that every day in class. That's one of our goals is to get schools to adopt that, because it's not political, it's not commercial, and it's not religious. It's for the future of mankind, to be kind to a humankind. Do you
You're
feel
correct.
the power?
I do.
Do you know anyone in any schools that you can get that to?
Well, I'm sure I can as soon as I get out from under everything else.
That'll never happen. That'll never happen.
Yes, it will. By
That'll
saying
happen.
it'll never happen, you manifest negativity.
No, I hope it happens, because as ambassador number 6, that's Oh, but let me ask one last question. When I came to you and what did I say? Do you want to be an ambassador of kindness? How did I put that? I have no clue.
I don't remember either. I just know it sounded good, and I agreed with you.
Everyone
And
does.
we are
That's the
engaged
beauty of it.
7 years later.
It's such, the saying KISS, keep it simple, stupid, right? Keep it stupid simple. People can't remember the 10 Commandments. You couldn't recite them like that. You probably get to 8 and struggle. It used to be 4 commitments. When you were number 6, it was 4 commitments. The 4th was say kind words, because words are important. Words matter. Words can heal. Words can kill. But it was to say please and thank you and I love you. Kind words. It's really fantastic. But you don't say kind words to your computer typically, or your car. You say kind words to people and animals. So number 2 is be kind to all others and the creatures. So I made it 3, because most people, I would say 99.999% can, after hearing it the first time, can recite the 3 commitments to kindness verbatim for the rest of their lives. That's what's exciting about this. I made it simple for humans, because humans, as you know, are the dumbest creatures on the planet. No one can argue that. Try to argue that. Try to argue that humans aren't the dumbest creatures.
I will not argue that.
You can't.
However, I will say this: one of the 10 Commandments is help thy neighbor.
That's number 2. See, the 10 Commandments fit into the 3 commitments. Nobody can remember 10. So if you can remember 3, because you say you got to love yourself. Well, those who love God, God is inside you. So that takes care of the God issue, number 1. But treat people as you want to be treated is number 2. It's one of the 10 Commandments. It's the golden rule. So literally, Alytino, I got to always remind people, especially as early adopters as you are, the 3 commitments solve all mankind's problems. And then we're going to be happy, because this is a show about happiness. How do you be happy? Help others.
I don't know.
Help
And
others.
that's an amazing thing. Being live with you right now is interesting, because there's so many things working against us to do the right thing. Okay? And people want to do what they feel is more important at the moment.
Of course, they come first. But
That's
when I was
correct.
I lived in Egypt for some years. And I went around, I used to live on noodles so I could afford flyers. So I could give out flyers to everyone about the kindness revolution, right? And the police would stop me all the time, because they don't like people handing out flyers. And they literally thought I was a spy. They literally thought I was a spy, because what human walks around not asking for money and tries to make people kind? It just doesn't make sense to them. And they always thought they thought I was a spy. They followed me everywhere. So now imagine now the world, or at least America, is going to watch this program. And this is going to go down in history, of course, all things on video, on social media, and on cyberspace are go down in history. So 100 years from now, someone could be watching this. What's your advice to the world to make it a better place? And don't just say it in one sentence, please.
What I have to say is just be kind to everyone, give them their moment, and then embrace them and say, I love you, thank God for you, and move on to the next, because you only get one chance to be kind.
You should be kind every day. So you have lots of
Correct.
I don't agree with that. Anyway, go back to work. You have a very
you
nice
so much.
tie on. Hopefully I'll never wear a tie the rest of my life. I like going around in sandals. When I was on the island of Belize, you remember I lived there for a good part of a year. I went barefoot for 4 months. Never wore a sandal or a shoe. That was fantastic.
One day when I grow up, I want to be like you.
Actually, that's what I say. When I always say, when I grow up, I want to be just like my son, because he's a fabulous human being.
Okay.
Alytino, go back to work.
Peace
Good
and
luck with
happiness
Tapestry.
always.
Stay in touch. Talk to you
You
soon.
too.
Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
The Final Frontier podcast. These are the voyages of Jake Boger and Justin Spur. Our weekly mission: to explore memories of Star Trek's strange new worlds, to recall the search for new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no one has had the spare time to go before.
What time is it? You guessed it. It's time for another episode of Dr. Fantastic Cooks. Get in the kitchen, have fun, don't take it serious, and I hope it comes out fantastic. Because you know my recipe's pretty darn good. Tried and tested. One of the best guacamoles you'll ever taste. Fantastic pizza. I did a soup last week. I did a pastrami sandwich the other day. I didn't make a show of it, but hot pastrami with a pickle. It was delicious. I love eating and I love cooking and I love sharing my recipes with you. Fast, easy, economical, and delicious. You can't beat it. Enjoy the episode. Hope you enjoyed the interview with Alytino. Hope you're enjoying the complete guide to happiness. And I hope you're sharing it. Because sharing is caring, and caring leads to kindness, and kindness leads to happiness. And this is the complete guide to happiness. Enjoy the cooking episode. See you at the end of the show. And have fun in the kitchen. Or have fun watching me in the kitchen. Either one of those. It's all good. Welcome to another episode of Dr. Fantastic Cooks. I was going to break all the rules today, but I decided I'm only going to break a few of them. So instead of just a cooking show, I'm going to release my May newsletter via this video. And I was just going to have a regular drink, but I couldn't find one, and I was ready to go on camera. So I'm going to keep with the protocol of my probably hundreds of cooking episodes. Have a cocktail with your meal. And this isn't a cocktail, of course. It's a beer, and it's Tecate. It's a pretty good beer. It's less than $1 here in Antigua. So today, I'm cooking chicken soup. I cooked it last week. Oh, it was so delicious. And I'm making twice as much now. So I'm boiling the water, and I'm going to prepare it for you and give you the newsletter. It's May 1st, 2025. A third of 2025 is already in the books. Can you believe it? Time flies so fast. I don't keep track of it very much, but it's going very fast. So you better be enjoying every day on the top side of the grass. Now, hopefully you're happy, and that's the goal of life, and that's what I try to teach people to be happy. So I highly recommend that you go to my other YouTube show. It's called The Complete Guide to Happiness, because that's what it's all about, being happy. And I interview one ambassador a week, and I looked at the itinerary. I've done 30 episodes, actually 31. I've already recorded next Mondays. And that means, I did my math, 4 weeks in a month, 7 months, 4 months. Okay, let me think. January, February, March, April. It's in the books, right? That's 4 months times 4. 4 times 4 is only 16. How the hell do I have 3? Also, I thought I was I've been doing this show for a long time, I guess. I was never really good at it. I love math, but I was never very good in it. So that means I've been doing it for 7 months, not 4 months. So that's a lot of months. Okay, so I'm boiling the water. I put 2 liters of water in, a large carrot, celery, potatoes, and onion. I get some garlic. You don't have to mince it. You can put it in whole. I'm going to put the garlic in. I did like a half a clove. Is that what they're called? The big ones are cloves, or the little ones are cloves? A half of the big bushel, whatever you want to call it. Typically, I get a hammer out, and I get a sharp knife, and I take the knife, and I get with a hammer, and I go clam, and that's how I cut the chicken. Today, I'm not going to, because I know it's going to make a lot of noise on the stove here. I turned the camera around because, I like doing cooking episodes where the camera is facing the stove. So basically, I'm going to take off most of the skin. I usually leave the skin on, but I've been eating so healthy and losing weight that I decided to take a little, and it's really easy. Just grab the skin there, pull it off like that, and then there's a little piece there. Cut that little piece off. Now, sometimes I quarter it. I've got 2 legs and 2 thighs, but I'm lazy today. I'm just going to throw the leg and the thigh in there. I'm going to boil it for 30 minutes after everything's in here, and that will, sometimes you just can't find that what do you call it? The joint. That's why I get the hammer out. It makes it a lot easier. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time here. Okay, there we go. So the chicken's in there now. As you can see, this is how I cut my celery. I always like putting celery in soup. I don't know any kinds of soup. So I'm just going to put a couple more slices there. You don't want to overcook the vegetables. That's the most important thing. You want to cook the chicken, but you don't want to. So maybe about a cup of celery, one whole onion, and again, you don't have to dice it too small. Just it'll dissolve. It's so easy to make this recipe. It's ridiculous. Okay, so it's May. I'm very proud to say I've got 11,400 ambassadors of kindness. That's very exciting, and a lot of them are very excited to be part of it. And every day, more join and more want to help spread and I call it the world's best kept secret. The 3 commitments to kindness. It solves literally all mankind's problems. It really does. You want to cut the veggies, so they cook pretty fast, because it's a fast recipe, half hour. So about three. Oh, lost a carrot there. Hold on. Never let anything upset you. I dropped a carrot. Not the end of the world. Rinse it off. That's a good sized carrot, huh? So where was I? We got lots of ambassadors. Oh, and we have a contest that started today. I thought it would be fun to have a little contest. I had it before for ambassadors to introduce the kindness revolution to their friends and family. And whoever does it, adds the most, wins a few dollars. And people shouldn't do it for the money. They should do it because it's good to share something that's valuable to everyone, which is the 3 commitments. Well, I had 2 guys that were really into it, Moses, and I forgot the other guy's name. And the other guy was saying, I'm going to win. I have to win, whatever, because it was only a $50 contest. And he thought he was winning, and they were both talking to each other. And Moses was like the turtle, not saying anything. And the other guy was like the hare, saying, I'm going to win. Well, the other guy lost, and he was so upset that he said, I fixed the contest and blah, blah, blah. And it was really mean. I had to finally kick him out of the group. And had I known he was going to cause that much trouble, I would have given him $50 anyway. But so he was devastated that he lost. I said, haven't you ever entered a contest before? Not if only one person wins. So there's another guy saying now, I'm going to win. And I'm thinking, oh, this causes the same problem. So maybe it's not good to have contests in Nigeria, because I don't think any Nigerians ever had contests before. I'm not sure. I mean, they must have, right? I mean, come on. So with the carrots, I usually slice it down the middle of it in quarters. That's a big carrot. Look at that thing. Do you ever peel a carrot where you just eat the inside? It's much tastier. Anyway, so we have a contest. Whoever adds the most to worldkindnesslist.com. And on that list, all you have to do is agree to the 3 commitments to kindness to be an ambassador. You don't need your phone or email. And so a lot of orphans in Ghana and a lot of children around all of Africa and a couple other countries are ambassadors because they're following the 3 commitments. This isn't about money. It's not about politics. It's not about religion. It's just about being kind. So the more people that are agreeing to be kind, the better it is for the kindness revolution. So whoever adds the most people on World Kindness List wins $50. And you don't even have to be an ambassador to do that. Now, the better contest is who adds ambassadors of kindness in WhatsApp groups, because as you know, we have hundreds and hundreds of WhatsApp groups. So basically, whoever adds the most ambassadors to their group wins $100. I know it's not a lot of money, and I don't want people doing it for the money. This is probably very loud in the camera, I imagine, right? Okay, that's done. Sorry about that. So I might have to cancel the contest if I find that people are just doing it for the money and not because they
they want to spread the best kept secret on the planet. So I'm going to probably add 2 of these. I can't quite read without glasses how many is supposed to go per liter, but I don't think it's going to, you could use chicken broth, by the way, and probably better if you use chicken broth, but this is chicken broth in a powder. So this whole thing is going to cost me about $5, and it's going to be delicious. It is so fun. What else is going on in the kindness revolution? We just have so many fantastic people and part of this group now. Oh, here's what I want to do. I like it spicy. This is from the garden. These are, I don't even want to touch it. Don't ever touch a hot pepper, by the way, with your hands, unless you want to wash your hands thoroughly, because you touch a hot pepper and then rub your eye, because, average person touches their face 100 times a day. So do not handle hot peppers. This is from the garden, red and green peppers. I'm going to put just this much in. It's just a lot. I used to have this hot sauce called La Bombe, and it lasted for years. So every once in a while I shake it up. And the first time I shook it up, well, I think I only shook it up once, because when I shook it up and I took the top off, it erupted like a volcano. And literally, I would put a toothpick, not even all the way down into the sauce, to flavor a big pot of chili. That's how hot this stuff was. Amazing. So I like it spicy. And that's that 1 spoon there is gonna spice it up quite a bit. So I've got the cloves in there. I've got everything in there. So that's gonna boil for about a half hour. Got the wrong size thing. At any rate, so what else is going on in the kindness revolution? We're going to be releasing very soon what's called the Global Kindness Social Network. It'll incorporate WhatsApp groups with our Facebook, with our YouTube, and it'll be a networking bonanza. Because I realized, people for years asked me if they can promote their company in our community. And I said, no, because it's not about money, but everybody needs to make money. So you're gonna be able to offer your products or services at a small discount, whatever's comfortable for you. It's not the amount. It's saying thank you to ambassadors, and only ambassadors of kindness are gonna be able to get that discount. You sell to other people. This is just another avenue for you to promote your passion. Hopefully, it's your passion, your product and your services. And so everybody wins. You get customer loyalty and new business, and ambassadors get a small discount for being kind. And you're thanking them for being kind, for being an ambassador of kindness. Everybody wins with the 3 commitments to kindness, with the Global Kindness Pledge, with the revolution. I mean, I don't benefit financially or anything. I benefit psychologically, because it makes me feel so good to change people's lives. Because a lot of people, I've got lots and lots of testimonials. If you go to the testimonial reel, and I just keep making videos and drinking beer. As you know, these thousands of videos here on YouTube, never scripted, never a second take. So it's a possibility that this didn't take. The microphone didn't work. And this is all for naught. I wouldn't do it a second time. I'm just going to enjoy the soup. But, everything happens in life as it should, when it should. I got lots of fantastic advice through all our 4 websites, all our social media, again, the YouTube. And it's just, I'm just trying to do the right thing by giving solid advice. My advice is very solid, proven. The 3 commitments solve all mankind's problems, and it's proven by science, it's proven by logic, and it's proven by over 11,400 smart people. We got billionaires, we got some really smart people. Well, kings and queens and all kind of people that are part of this fantastic revolution. And I want you to be part of it if you're not. And if you are part of it, hopefully you're an admin, here's how it works. Basically, you get introduced, like maybe this video is introducing the kindness revolution to you. You can join a group, and then inside that group, you're just a member. So at that point, if you like what we're doing, which everyone does, you become an ambassador of kindness by following the 3 commitments. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, be kind to Mother Earth. Then if you really want to help, being an ambassador is just good enough, because that means you're following the 3 commitments and you're being kind, and we need more kind people. But if you want to help and spread the word, you become an admin. And you can have as many admin in the channel, in a group as we can. We want to have a group in every city on the planet spreading kindness. That would be fantastic. And then one admin who's doing an exemplary job and really passionate and has the bandwidth and the time and the love for the revolution becomes a director. We only have about 15 solid directors so far, and there's 195 countries, so we have 180 directors to go. But this is the world's best kept secret. When it gets out, a lot of people are going to want to be directors. Eventually, we're going to pay for directors because it is a nonprofit. I am going to try to raise some money for it so I can pay people. You can only get so far on volunteers, and I've gotten this far on volunteers. It's pretty exciting. It's pretty fun. So that's the newsletter, I guess. The soup is on the stove. It's going to be delicious. And what else can I say? What else can I say? I know I'm going to forget something. I always forget something. I told you about the new network, social network. Told you about. I think that's it. I think that's enough. You probably have to get back to work, right? Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, share. Sharing is caring. Caring makes a kindness. Sharing is kind. Kind leads to. I have a saying that goes with that, and it all leads to happiness. Get your people, get your family in the kitchen. Get the kids to peel the potatoes and the carrots, dice them up. Careful with the sharp knives, because that's one of the important ingredients to cooking well. If you don't like onions, don't put it in the soup. If you don't like garlic, don't put it in the soup. If you don't like, sometimes I throw a tomato in, and some people don't like tomatoes. But these are my babies. I grew these. I almost don't want to eat them because it took months to grow, at least 2 months, maybe more. Aren't they beautiful? I love you, tomatoes. And they're organic, they're natural. Just took a little water, a little effort. Grow a garden. It's really fun. And and you can teach your kids how to grow a garden, cooking, growing gardens, painting, laughing, dancing, singing, all stuff that's good for you, because you come first. Thanks for watching. Have a fantastic day. Have a fantastic May. And the newsletter, we'll see you in June. But, I like doing these episodes. This is fun for me. Have a fantastic day.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the interview with Alytino B. Brown. He's quite the character. He's quite the humanitarian. He gets around. And I was reminded how we met. I always like being reminded how I meet people. Everyone's always asking me, how'd you meet him? How'd you meet her? I said, I don't have a clue. But so he reminded me a little bit. And he's got a big heart. And he's got a full plate, a lot fuller than mine. He's balancing a lot of balls. And he's doing the right thing. He's being kind. And he's trying to help others. So I hope you enjoyed that interview. Hope you enjoyed the cooking. Get in the kitchen, have fun. Don't take life too serious. Have a cocktail while you're cooking. If you're a teetotaler, have a cup of tea while you're cooking. Okay, see you next week. Whatever you're doing that's making you happy, keep doing it. If you like this episode, if you like prior episodes, like, subscribe, share. Please go to Befantastic YouTube, where I've got thousands of interviews or episodes, a lot of interviews, a lot of my journals from traveling for the last 5 years. I've been to museums. So basically, it's a free ride to visit the world's museums, the pyramids, old faithful the geyser at Yellowstone National Park, Istanbul, Cairo. I've been a lot of places, and it's a free video for you. They're not fancy videos. They're me by myself without any help. One take, each one's a one-take wonder. I shoot what I see. I don't go into editing. I don't put music. I don't put subtitles. I don't put fancy things. It's just plain and simple me giving you a free ride around the world. And I hope you enjoy it. So see you next week. Whatever you're doing, it's making you happy, keep doing it. I know I say that often. I repeat myself often, but it's worth repeating. Be happy, because that's what you're here on the planet for, to be happy. Talk to you next week.
I met Dr. Fantastic along life's way, and I heard him say, you gotta say, I am fantastic, la la la, I am fantastic. You can feel it if you say it. It ain't a game, you gotta learn how to play it. Fantastic, fantastic. Just listen to the doctor. He's a rocker. He walks around all day. He ain't plastic. He's not sarcastic. He says, I am fantastic.